in the ass. So we were at the Banana Bar, I think it's called, the Banana Club, Banana Room, something like that. And so the women start coming out, and they just work. They each have like one person they're focused on. Finally, it gets to me, and this woman comes out, and she's focusing on me, and she's like, "You're my issue here," and she goes, "Do you want to get spanked?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." So she tells me to bend over the table, and I happily oblige. And then I just feel something. I'm not gonna say it went in, but it certainly like knocked on the door of my asshole. You know what I mean? Like it got in the mudroom.
Hola, bonjour.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Today we have fights on the plane. How you doing, bud?
I'm thrilled to be here. First question: am I sitting in the right seat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. The mic's good.
Mike's good.
Mike's
good.
Okay. I feel like it's too far away. I like the.
You could bring it closer.
When I'm usually used talking to Mike, I like that thing's in my esophagus.
Yeah. We'll bring it closer. There we go.
I just want to make sure it was okay. I don't care where it is, but I just wanted to make sure it was okay. Anyway, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
I'm happy you're here too. I don't know if you saw, Roan asked me to rank like the top 10 Barstool employees I'd want to go abroad with. You were in the number 5 spot.
I saw that and was very honored to be there.
And I wasn't like, I had a tough time explaining why, because I think we've only done one trip together. That was to go duck hunting in Arkansas. We had a great time.
Didn't expect that to be the one trip.
Yeah, that was our one trip. But then afterwards, I felt kind of bad because I was like, oh shit, Francis didn't make the list. I've actually been abroad with Francis.
Oh yeah, China.
And we had a good time. So I didn't want him to see that. Be like, what the fuck? Like
I would be comfortable if you swap me for Francis. Francis and I, equal players, I think.
But can you kind of like pitch yourself to me, like why you are a great guy to go abroad with?
Okay, yeah, great. I think I am the, like 5 was very nice. I'd put me 1 to travel with.
All right.
I think I'm a very, very, very good traveler.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's like again, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Of course you didn't.
Yeah.
I should be 1.
Okay.
Who was number 1? Za?
PFT.
PFT.
Just because, I mean, the fact that our first time traveling, he just flew out to Hong Kong for 48 hours.
Yeah. Just
raged his dick off. But yeah, I had you in the 5 spot because I think you're a big go with the flow guy.
Humongous go. I am very much a go with the flow guy, but I really like traveling, and I like doing everything. Like whatever it is, whatever you want to do while we're there, I'm into doing it. I don't care if it's fucking, you want to go to museums? I love going to museums. You want to go to bars? I love going to bars. You want to go to clubs? You want to go to nice dinners? Doesn't matter. I just really like being in like new cultures and spots like that.
You want to do shrooms? You're probably down?
Yeah. I've long said the only reason I haven't done heroin is no one's offered it. Like, if I'm at a bar, like someone's like, "Yo, you want to do a shot?" Yeah, I probably would. I'd give it a try. I'll try anything once, and I think that's what makes me a good traveler as well.
Yeah. If someone offered me heroin and it wasn't in needle form, maybe I would consider it.
No. I'm same thing. I wouldn't inject.
Yeah.
But unless there was a doctor present.
Yeah, because I think
I'm gonna say count me out on the heroin, guys. Yeah. I know it's bold.
Honestly, I would. That's why I say exactly that, because I have no interest in doing heroin. I do have interest in pleasing somebody who's trying to have a good time. Right?
Peer pressure your own self.
yeah.
We're not asking you to do it. No, I'll do it.
No.
If you guys are gonna do it.
My interest is more in not ruining the vibe than it is of like the danger it would bring my life.
Yes. Not offending anyone.
Exactly.
You know? So
exactly.
if like we're staying at a local's house, they serve you some weird ass food, you're gonna eat it, even if it doesn't look appetizing.
99% yes.
Yeah. You might start dry heaving at the table. Though.
Well, I actually did that once. It's funny to be on here. I just like last week did Ari Shafir's podcast, not coming out for months. But I was on that trip. I was talking about when I went to Salamanca, and I went to Salamanca, Spain for a summer, and I was in high school at the time, so I lived with a billet family, and my mom beat me because she did not obviously not my real mother, the billet family I was living with in Spain. She made potatoes and sausages one night for dinner, and she was going on and on about how she invented this dish, and I just made kind of a snide, kind of an asshole, admittedly, comment where I was like, I think the Polish invented this, and she whacked me in the face with a spatula.
Love it.
So the 99.9 leaves the room for you trying to steal Polish delicacies.
Yeah, I mean, bangers and mash, that's a British thing,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's,
I just threw out Polish, but you could pick 100 countries who invented that dish.
sausage and potatoes. All right. That's crazy that they had an abroad program in high school. They did like some sort of exchange.
Yeah, it was. So I went to a boarding school in Rhode Island, and they had some program with the University of Rhode Island that we got to go over there for it. So it was like, I guess it was because college kids came with us too. So I guess it was like their regular study abroad, but we got to do it
Nice.
summer between my junior and senior year.
I think culturally that was one of the biggest markers for me when I first started working at Barstool, how different Northeast culture from Southern culture was. When you told me that when we first met that you went to a boarding school, I thought you were bullshitting. Like, I had never heard of anyone going to boarding school except for like Harry Potter. Like, I didn't know anyone that did it. And then you're like, no, there's a couple other people at the company that did it too. I was like, I thought that was only a thing in England. I had no idea that people in the Northeast did it.
I think it's pretty strictly New England, but there are a lot of kids in the school, like my best friends from Louisiana, a lot of kids from the South who came, and I would ask them, I'd be like John Gray, my friend, I'd be like, how'd you even end up here? And he was like, down in the South, we have like, I guess like college recruiters, but for boarding schools.
Not at my school.
Yeah, and he was
They'd be
like,
like, what the fuck? No, get out of here. Libs.
Yeah. I knew a couple kids who went to boarding school, but it was actually because they were just fucking up real bad and getting in a lot of trouble, and their parents were like, that's it, you're going to boarding school. And boarding school fucked them up even more.
Yeah.
Like if you thought they were doing too many drugs at their local public school, once they got to boarding school, it was game over.
Well, no heroin. Nobody's offering heroin.
Yeah.
So I went to a boarding school where most of the kids, I would say almost exclusively, the kids were there because they wanted to be.
Yeah.
But personally was like, it was 50-50.
Okay.
It was like, it wasn't demanded I go, but it was like, hey, because my dad went, so it was kind of like, you gotta get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, true. Now, do you think it was that experience in Spain that hooked you on travel?
No, I've traveled my whole life. Like
Okay.
like when I was a kid, my parents took us everywhere.
All right.
It wasn't.
Nice.
It's actually weird now, like hearing people complain about kids on a plane or stuff like that. I'm like, I was just.
Yeah.
I've never known anything different. That doesn't bother me. It's just society.
And you were doing like,
These are humans.
Right.
yeah, so your family would do kind of more exotic vacations, not like, oh, we're taking the kids to Cancun for the 4th time. Or
No.
things like that.
We very rarely we go to Martha's Vineyard a lot, but very rarely do we still to this day go to like the same location.
Yeah.
My dad likes a resort in Jamaica. We'd go there a couple times, but pretty often we travel.
I recall your family went to the Azores.
Yes.
And then my family did a trip there maybe a couple years later. Great spot. It's like a island chain in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
The Hawaii of Europe.
The Hawaii.
That's what they told us while we were
the
there.
Hawaii of Europe, but it's a very temperate climate.
Yeah. It's not Hawaii.
But
Yeah,
it is.
Everybody says the Hawaii of something, like the Harvard of something. Like Okinawa is the Hawaii of Japan.
Yes.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the Azores, excuse me, like you said, the climate's extremely different. While I was there, I loved it, but I thought that was pitching it too high.
Yeah.
Like saying it's like Hawaii. Like I
Yeah.
got there and I was like, well, this isn't like Hawaii. It's like the Azores. In my head, I was prepared for Hawaii, and now this is kind of disappointing to me.
It's like Hawaii in the sense they're both volcanic island chains in the middle of an ocean. So they both are like mountainous, and they're both very green. Just one is much warmer than the other.
Yeah. That's where Ronaldo's from too.
No, he's not.
He's from
actually.
Madeira, but it's in the Azores.
Madeira. So that's its own thing.
Oh, really? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought Madeira was in the Azores.
No.
Oh,
it's its own island.
Yeah,
It
no.
looks sick. I really want to go there. I don't know. My algorithm on social media just shows me clips from Madeira every day.
Really?
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Well, now all ours do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's super mountainous. Not a lot of flat ground. So I don't know like where he was practicing soccer. 'Cause It's just like all mountains and stuff. What are some other big trips you've done? Like, is there one trip you'd want to focus on for this pod, or do you just want to go all over the
It's
place?
a great question.
And pinball.
I don't know. I probably would say pinball, but this is your show. Please, whatever you guys like to do.
Yeah, I think pinball.
Okay. Yeah. I'm more than happy to pinball.
Well, what do you think? If you're doing a trip, you could only repeat one of the trips you've done. What's your repeat trip?
My repeat trip is so hard, but honestly, my repeat trip is Spain. I loved everything about it. It was also at that time like I spoke Spanish. I was in the culture. I was in the world. I just still can I'll be able to get around now, but I can't fucking speak Spanish anymore. But Prague was I think Prague was the first time I went on something like that alone. Not that I was solo, but not with my parents.
Yeah.
I think I was 15 when I went to Prague, and it was world changing. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen anything like the women. I'd never seen anything like the scenery. I learned that it's the only city in Europe that was not devastated by World War II. So only major city. So it's still very ancient looking. And I was there for a hockey tournament. So I was there with all my best friends and getting drunk. It was.
Dude, yeah. When you're 15, you're not allowed in bars in the U.S. and you go to Prague. Prague is the home of the golden beer. So beer used to just be kind of super dark and heavy. They invented the Pilsen, which is what Budweiser is, Bud Light. So the original Budweiser comes from Prague.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's all we drank over there were Pilsner Urquells.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say it's it's the beer capital of the planet in my book. I've never been to Prague, so I would love to.
That's a strong take to just throw out there and move right
along. Capital of the world? It is. Watch this. I'm gonna Google beer capital of the world, and if Prague doesn't come up, I'll be pissed.
I would probably maybe Germany is where I would say somewhere in Germany.
Beer capital of the world.
Belgium, maybe.
You said that with the confidence that it's gotta be the Czech Republic, right?
Google's saying Munich.
Oh,
Munich, Germany.
Jesse.
I'm also seeing Prague though.
Okay, yeah. If you Google is Prague the beer capital of the world, you might come up.
See, there's Prague, and also San Diego, California. Psh,
nah, that is true. The amount of microbreweries and shit in San Diego is out of control,
dude.
If you want a real high IPA, go there.
Seeing Dublin on this list reminds me. I was in Dublin last year, and I was in a cab, and I was going to a spot where my friend who's from Dublin, he told me before I went that it's his favorite pint. They all have this bar is the best pint, and this bar is the best pint. So we were going to this bar called Gravediggers, which is where
heard of that?
Where fucking what's his name's buried.
James Joyce?
No, it's one of
the Undertaker.
It's where Liam Neeson plays him in a movie. It's fucking damn.
He's a famous Irish guy.
Yeah, he fought versus the. I think he fought with the IRA. I forget. Whatever.
Sam, you have to be faster on the Google there.
Yeah, God damn it, Sam.
Thomas. Fucking.
Who was born?
But on the way to the bar on the way to that bar. John Kavanaugh. But that's not, okay. It's John Kavanaugh, the Gravediggers, but the guy who's buried there is not John Kavanaugh.
That's the Supreme Court Justice, right?
Yeah. I like beer. Still like beer.
Yeah, that's all it is. He's just a beer guy.
Michael Collins. There it is. Michael Collins. The cabbie on the way over there, I'm just asking him, I'm like, my friend, he's from Dublin. He tells me this is the best pint. Where's your favorite pint? He told me he's sober now. He stopped drinking. And I said, that's great. I'm glad
okay, well, if you were drinking. So
and he said he had to stop drinking because he used to drink 50 pints of Guinness a day. And I said, excuse me, you say 15? I thought you said 50. And he went, 50, lad, 50. And I think that's I don't even understand how you have time in the day to do that.
Guinness, though, so it's a surprisingly low alcohol content. I think it's 4.5 or 4.2 even.
But it's still 2 drinks an hour.
And, right. And also lies exist. I think I'm just a fucking liar. Sure you did, Wade Boggs.
Because I feel like I could do that. Just I was out in Ireland for my wedding, and the great thing is they drink either Guinness or Balmer's ciders, which is their word for a Magners cider. They just have to call it something else over there. But both of those are 4% alcohol. And I was just drinking constantly in Ireland, but I never got too drunk. It was always just a great buzz.
You know what I found in Ireland? I was shocked at how not little drinking they did, because obviously they drink a lot, but I was shocked at the, I guess, discipline. How so I say that because I went with my family, and I have a big family, so we had like a bus, and a bus driver would drive us around, and at night we'd be like, "You want to come to dinner?" Like,
Yeah.
we're going out to the bars. You want to come? And he would sometimes, and he'd never drink. And I was like, "You can." It was like me, my dad, and him sitting at the bar, and he was like, "Yeah, you can have a Guinness." You're like, we trust you. You're all right.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No." He's like, "Here, you get if you got over 0.0, you get pulled over." And then that combined with the amount of alcohol-free beer advertisements I saw, where I was like, "Oh, I guess they maybe don't drink as well." Like we'd be in a bar, and like a rugby game would be on TV, and all the ads on the pitch would be Heineken 0, Guinness 0, everything was 0. I saw.
Yeah, so it's all because of drunk driving. They're so strict on that. I think like if you get caught once, you lose your license. And I know at weddings in Ireland, they'll have a police checkpoint waiting outside. A lot of them.
Really?
Yeah. So like people just know like if they're drinking, there's like no way they're getting behind the wheel.
My buddy he went over there for a golf trip. It's the same thing, similar thing, where he said no one on the golf course drinks. Like compared to what it is here in America, where everyone fucking has 14 beers in their bag.
Yeah.
He was like, no one drinks them. Like you play golf, you have some beers afterwards for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like while you're playing, you do not drink.
Yeah. Dude,
That seems unfun.
yeah, no, you got to drink during a round of golf. At my wedding, it was like 45 minutes outside of Dublin, and halfway through, my friend had to take his wife to the hospital, and so he goes to the front desk of the golf resort where we got married, and he was like, "Can we please get a cab to the hospital?" Because he was probably 6 or 7 beers deep, and they like called 3 cab companies, like, "Yeah, we can't find you a cab," and they don't have Uber out there. So my friend's like, "Fuck, she really needs to go to a doctor." And so he had to get behind the wheel, like 7 beers deep, and drive her to the hospital. It's like if he had gotten caught, like I don't even think he would have been able to leave the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a bummer. Always work out your transportation in Ireland because it's not like the U.S. where you can just call an Uber.
I kind of interrupted us with the doublings. The Prague, I have to say, Darling's Cabaret. I honestly like the reason I wanted to do a bunch is because like I don't have one where like I remember everything and like, have like a really detailed thing. So like that one I was so young, and it was such a drinking focused trip on top of a hockey playing focused trip. But I turned 16 while I was there, so it must have been in August. And the team, I was like the young kid on the team, so the team put together a night where we went to this bar called Darling's Cabaret. Darling's Cabaret, I believe it still exists in Prague. If you have over 8, I think it was, people, they'll pick you up in a van kind of deal or in a limo. So they set up like, they're like, we're bringing 15 guys, like send us the limo. So we had the whole limo, the whole thing. And they didn't question anything about us coming in. Like I was a baby face. Like I was braces. I was big curly hair. Like I couldn't have looked 12, let alone 15. And they got me a lesbian lap dance.
So what does that mean?
It was just 2 chicks,
Okay.
kind of like making out on top of me, and then they were like, "Wait, it's your birthday? You're getting a special dance." So they took my shirt off, and I had, when you're like a kid and you're kind of hitting puberty and you got those puffy nipples.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Bro, they popped my shirt off. I had these 15, 16-year-old puffy cone nipples.
They call those budding.
and I guess to give them credit, they didn't care, and they just started like,
I don't know if you give them credit.
Yeah,
for that.
I don't know. Are they so?
To give them credit, they didn't even notice my kid nipples. They didn't even mention it.
But they were like licking my nipples and stuff. And like I was a late bloomer. I was like a baby face. Like I'd barely even kissed a girl before, and to have that happen, and then like the older kids on the team ended up like taking girls back to the hotel, so I got like a prostitute experience. It was I didn't know what was up and what was down, and in the whole time too, like some of the teams in the tournament were very, very big teams. Like some teams like took like their own plane in, and we were out at night getting lesbian lap dances, and we did not do well.
Let me tell you right now, if I was 15 and I was in Prague and I got a lesbian lap dance, the amount of cum that would have been in my britches is astronomical.
Yeah. Because when you were that age, you had never even seen a tit.
Oh no, never. Let alone 4.
Yeah. And that's wild. Like when you say the older kids on the team were bringing home girls, the older kids were still probably only 17.
I think
18.
they might. I think they might have been 16. But to me, honestly, to me at that time, because I think it was an under 16 team, so like they couldn't have been
16-year-olds bringing hookers back to the hotel.
Dude, maybe it was under 18.
That's Prague
but,
living.
Dude, like to me at that time, because I was again so like not that I was small, but I just was a child in my head and in my body and all that.
Oh, because you were. Because you were.
Because I was.
You were 15. Yeah.
But for a 15-year-old, I was
Yeah.
like I was a child, and the other kids who took girls home and stuff like that, like in my memory, still now they are like Navy SEALs. Like they're jacked and they're huge, and I don't remember what they were actually like, but to me at that time they were men.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it wasn't until I got to China that I saw someone actually get a prostitute. I was like, oh, people actually do that?
Like they were like, you guys want to try it? And I was like, dude, I want to get the fuck back to America. This is horrifying. I've had my nipples in some woman's mouth tonight.
I know.
The first spot I saw prostitutes was in Lake Charles, Louisiana, off of I-10. My dad stopped there because he was a truck driver, and they were just basically lot lizards.
Did your dad stop and get a prostitute with like you in the back seat?
Shut up.
Not in the back seat, but I was in the room. He was like, I'll be back in a couple hours.
No way, dude.
Yeah, I think I was probably 14-ish, 15.
That sounds like some shit like Flea would write in it. Remember?
Oh yeah,
the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Book?
honestly, I look like I could be Flea's son. A little bit, right?
Yeah.
How old were you for that?
Like 14 or 15.
14, 15, right
Yeah,
there.
I didn't have any idea at the time. It was when I like rolled it back years later. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He probably actually didn't know that woman that he was talking to. Well, he knew her carnally after a while. But
Carnally doesn't get used enough.
yeah,
carnal love.
little carnal knowledge. Yeah,
Carnal pleasure.
yeah.
I feel like you hear that when they talk about like Greek and Roman festivals. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Also, when me and John used to talk about Sodom and Gomorrah on the Barstool Confessions
Goddamn
podcast.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I looked that up the other day. I was like, oh, I forgot this was like a full-fledged podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
didn't
was-
last long, but it was fun.
Was that COVID or was that a little right after COVID?
I think it was COVID.
Yeah, it was definitely like COVID time.
Yeah.
But I think we were a little
Yeah.
on the tail end of it at least.
Yeah. If you don't know, Chaps and Fights had a religion podcast.
As you'd expect.
Yeah.
My boarding school was Catholic. I don't know anything, but I had. It wasn't as crazy as it sounds now.
What, the fact that you had
like I was on a religious podcast.
Oh, no. And it makes sense that you were on it. And I think it makes sense if you're doing a religion podcast, you want one guy that was like used to be a preacher or a minister, and then and then a
Yeah, the
Catholic
dynamic
schoolboy.
was actually perfect because it was like I kind of know what you're talking about, but explain it to me more. Like I've heard like the 6-year-old version. I haven't heard what really happened.
It was fun, but there's only so much shit you could really talk about and be like, this is actually really silly.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
yeah. It's the same concept as doing Blues Clues episodes.
Once you get to the
Here's
part-
what really happened.
Once you get to the part where Jesus put a bunch of demons into a pig and made them jump off of a mountain and kill themselves in the water, there's not a lot of places you can go after that.
Dude, I still remember. I so vividly remember in high school, Brother Joseph telling us about how there were lost books to the Bible, and he's like, but some of them are ridiculous, so you don't even want to worry about it. And he goes, like, there's one of them where Jesus, when he was a kid, he made another kid disappear because he wouldn't share toys. and he's like, and he said like, that's so unbelievable, and I was like, well, it's just as believable as everything else is.
So the cross thing is believable.
Yeah, like if a guy
The entirety of everyone who ever lived was like, you're like, yes.
Yeah, right.
Made one kid disappear because he got mad. That's the most relatable thing. That
particularly,
happened.
I was thinking about it as like this, back when I first heard it, I was thinking about it as like, well, when I was 13 and I was emotional and angry and someone took something from me, I'd probably that would be like a superhero being 13. He probably doesn't quite know his powers yet. It actually, I was like, that's the most believable thing I've heard of this whole goddamn thing.
Yeah, Jesus' frontal lobe wasn't fully developed, so he's making different choices.
So when you're 16 and getting a lesbian lap dance, like, Were you actually aroused, or were you just like, this is fucking crazy?
I've never gotten aroused in my lap dance in my life.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's still kind of an awkward experience. Like,
I do not like lap dances. I do not. It's probably has something to do with the heroin thing earlier, where I feel like I'm ruining the vibe here. What do you want me to do? Like, let me chime in. Let me help here. Like, I've never been comfortable getting a lap dance. I just don't like it. I actually invented a move for the lap dance, which this is back when I used to do it. But I had a pair of jeans that I would wear.
Dance jeans?
It's not. There wasn't a particular pair of jeans, but you had to be wearing jeans because jeans kept everything tight. But then you tighten your legs like that, and it kind of just makes everything right here. Because I was like, I can't keep having these women grinding on my soft penis. Because I find nothing about this experience sexual, and I can't, it's got to be weird for you to just be grinding on this soft dick. So I would tighten up my jeans so you couldn't get, it kind of makes like a trampoline.
Yes.
And then she just couldn't feel anything, and that's
better. Yeah,
that was the only
I'd rather
way.
her think that I don't have a dick than a soft one.
In my head, that was so much better.
Well, I mean, there's nothing worse when you're a kid. You think having a boner is like the weirdest thing ever. Like that you're the first person to have one. Like if you're getting a lap dance, you're like, oh, I hope she doesn't feel my boner. I feel like that you expect to feel a boner.
Well, but that's why I was.
Oh no, I totally get what you're saying. I got to do something because I'm not getting hard here.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like an idiot.
I'm also just at a strip club in general, which I probably haven't been to a strip club in 5-10 years. I don't even know the last one I was in. But at a strip club in general, I'm not there to get turned on. I don't what I find interesting is interesting shit. So they always talk about, I think the first Rough and Rowdy, they went to a strip club after, and the chick was squirting milk out of her tits. I'd much rather see that than get a lap dance. I'd rather see fire ping pong balls across the room, do really acrobatic shit.
Shove a banana in there, see how many pieces you could cut it into.
Yeah, shove a stiletto up my ass. I don't fucking care.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Well, that was in Amsterdam. We get to that one. But I'd rather just have fun than. I don't think that's not sexy to me. So I'd rather be let's just have a good time.
Yeah, there's something, especially when you're surrounded by all your friends. It's I don't know. I can't always focus in on getting aroused by this chick when I'm surrounded by my boys.
Right. We're trying to have a good time here. Just all the strangers, the whole environment to me is not hot.
Yeah. The amount of people.
Although there are times when I just.
It is kind of hot.
Then I remembered a time where it was really fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
so the last strip club I was in, I remember it now. It was 2 years ago, Tootsie's Miami, which was insane.
I would go to that strip club,
dude. It was. I went. Actually, what's crazy? I went with the guy who, he's Irish. He told me about Gravediggers. It was his bachelor party, and
Did you see his dick?
Did I see his dick? No, I didn't. Great question, though. No, he kept it in his pants. Now I got to be well, just to be clear, his dick was never out at any point. No, you know what I mean? I didn't see it, but 20 strippers did.
He had an absolute missile.
But what's really weird to me, the owner, or at least the manager, or some higher up at Tootsie's is Irish, which blows my mind because I would think a higher up at a strip club in Miami.
Not Irish.
You're a Latino gentleman, I had imagine.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair. Yeah.
And it was an Irish guy, so he got us into this strip club, and he got us VIP, and he took care of us. And to kind of speak to what I was saying earlier about how I don't find that environment sexy, we got to the VIP table, and then I swear to God, there were 40 women, waiting, it was at the starting gates, just waiting for us to sit down and get comfortable, so they could come up and be like, "You want to dance?" I was I don't want to be sold to. I don't like any of that. But as the night progressed, and drinks started flowing a little bit, and this and that, and this happened and that happened, I started to get a little more into it. And
you're like, I'm older, my nipples look normal now.
And all of the strippers their go-to line, they come in, they sit on your lap, and they whisper in your ear, "Do you want to go do cocaine and fuck me?" And on what planet is the answer to that? No. So like, it's like, yeah, I want to do those two things right now.
That's exactly what I had on my bucket list. Yes.
Fuck, are you kidding me? That's exactly what I want to do.
Do they tell you the price though?
They
Or
do
is
not.
That's something you have to find out afterwards.
Yes, and I
Yeah,
can
but
tell
that's
you what it
not
is.
sexy. Like, you want to do cocaine and fuck
but
me?
then
Well,
that's
depends.
how
What
a
are we
lot of
looking?
people get screwed.
What is that going to set me back?
There was a gentleman on the bachelor party, not the groom, who did partake, and I believe they were, at least like as you were walking around the floor a little bit, the price was reasonable, whatever it was. He took it up and woke up the next morning and said it was $1,400,
Oh my god.
which
Okay.
was not that's not the number they were throwing around before they ran the card. I
Yeah.
think it was something along the lines of like $300.
Yeah, I've heard too many horror stories of people going absolutely broke in a strip club.
Yeah.
I knew a guy, he was in Vegas, ends up spending all night with a stripper, ends up bringing the stripper back to his suite. So then you know you're in deep then.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the night, he eventually got a blowjob.
Nice.
Like altogether, I think he ended up being down like $7,000 or $8,000. He had like a huge trip planned where he was going to Cambodia, Thailand, Hong Kong. He just had to cancel the entire trip.
Sorry, I had one
And it's-
fun night.
Yeah, so I got one blowjob. It's like if you're that horny, like just go out and hire a hooker. Like,
Yeah.
because if you go into a strip club too horny, you could wake up.
$8,000 is a lot
It's like going
of
to the
money.
market when you're hungry. Can't do
No,
it.
you can't.
No.
You got to get like a baseline. You know, like how you pregame. You got to pre-nut before you go to a strip club. You got to get that one squeeze.
That was my problem. That was why I could never get harder during lap dances. I was like, I just came, but if you were here
Oh,
20
yeah.
minutes ago.
Yeah. Finally, the dudes on Love Island are talking honest when they do the little makeout challenges. Like one guy's like, "Oh, I got to go put on another pair of underwear."
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Time out.
Yeah.
Adult men are pre-coming on Love Island?
Well, first of all, we're not going to poo-poo people who still pre-nut. John.
I guess what I'm picturing is a standing makeout. I guess it could.
They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're getting one dude was like he just had his junk basically licked through the underwear up. And I
Okay.
think they're just trying to hide their boners more so than avoid nutting in their pants. I think that they're just concerned about having full-fledged bones on TV.
That's a different story. That I'm okay with. But if it's just like, hey, we're making out in the middle of the living room and you're coming in your pants, that's
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well,
Chaps.
I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer too. It's all still new to me.
But it seems like on that show they were doing over the pants blowjobs. I've never heard about that.
Oh, they're doing over the pants everything. Yeah.
Okay.
They're basically doing little like sausage, like where you put the
Yeah.
pussy's the bun and the hot dog's there and just yeah, the old slip and slide action.
You don't have to name names, but when you did the trip to Amsterdam, did anyone partake in the red light district there?
Yeah, we all did. I mean, like as far as like hookers, no, not,
Okay,
not
yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
aware of.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So we went to Amsterdam with Bert, and I got fucked in the ass.
Okay. Clip that.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's just literally what happened. So
Continue.
It is the most basic way to say it, but it's what happened.
This portion of the show is brought to you by our friends at BetterHelp.
So we were at the Banana Bar, I think it's called, or the Banana Club, Banana Room, something like that.
Hurricane O'Reilly's.
And so there's probably like 8 of us, I think, something like that. Or it was me, Nick Hamilton, Kevin, Bert. Yeah, let's call it 6 to 8. And at the Banana Bar, you rent like almost a mini stage.
Okay.
So it's like it's however many of us there were, it was that amount of chairs. I think it was 8. And then it's like a mini stage, and then they're kind of telling you like, we're gonna be bringing girls out. They're all gonna be kind of doing different things. You know, if you like a girl, you can tell her, meet up with her after. But like, we got a little mini show for you guys here. And so the women start coming out, and they just work. They each have like one person they're focused on. So the first woman comes out, and I forget what everyone did, but she played with herself. And then the next woman come out, and this woman had huge boobs, and she was just like, rub them. And like, that's fun for 3 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, all right. Like,
I don't know. Talk to White Sox Dave. He could do that for hours.
if you know that's where it ends, then it's not that fun. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like if I'm
Yeah.
doing it with a woman on my couch, that's a different story. But like, I know this isn't going any further. So like,
Okay.
what am I doing here?
Okay.
So she did that, and then a woman came out. This one was crazy, where she had a Sharpie and a postcard, and she said, "Who do you want to write a postcard to?" And Kevin said, "Glennie Balls." So we wrote a postcard to Glennie Balls. As you can imagine, this postcard was not written with her hand. She puts the Sharpie into her pussy, and she gets down so low. Like I don't to this day understand how she did it, but she like squatted over a postcard and wrote in perfect penmanship, "To Glennie, 2 balls, we miss you, love Amsterdam," or something like that. Like not
Amsterdam's a long word to write with
it
your
was
vagina.
not a little amount of words. It was not like it was. I forget exactly what it said, but it said something to that effect. And then the next woman comes out, and I don't know, let's say she had a dildo or whatever. And then finally it gets to me, and this woman comes out, and she's focusing on me, and she's like, "You're my issue here," and she goes, "Do you want to get spanked?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it. Like, we're all having a good time." Like, I look around the table, like, "Would it be weird if I got spanked?" And I was like, and I'm like, "Nah, you're good. Get spanked."
Say no balls.
So she tells me to bend over the table, and I happily oblige. And then she takes my belt off, which it's the belt I'm wearing right now. It's like the only belt I ever wear. It's like an alligator skin, pretty thick belt. And she takes it off, and she starts wailing on it.
Oh my god.
Like my pants are down. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. My pants are down, and she's just like full pull back, full whack. And the first one hurt. Like it really hurt. And so I kind of like fucking pulled back, like, god damn. And then I think that upset her. So she did it again.
Jesus.
And she fucking wailed back again, like over the head whip. And I fucking popped up again. I was like, God damn, all right. Like, yeah. And then I think that pissed her off that I was still doing that. So I don't know why I didn't stand up at any point, but I'm just laying down like in my position. And I'm just waiting. I'm like you're at the doctor, right? I'm just waiting for something to happen. And then I just feel something. I'm not going to say it went in, but it certainly like knocked on the door of my asshole. You know what I mean? Like it got in the mudroom.
I was ready for staging.
Right? And so like then I really yelled, obviously. I was like, ah! Right? And as I'm yelling, a stiletto gets shoved in my mouth. So I'm like, right? And I'm like, enough. All right, I'm done with this.
A safe word.
And I get done. The first thing I say to Kevin, I go, "Was that in my ass?" He goes, "I don't know where it was." I go, "What? Was it the same one?" Because he goes, "I don't know if it got it or not." I'm like, "Don't worry about that. Is that the same stiletto that was just in my ass?"
Dude, the other guys got up easy.
Oh god, dude. Is that in?
Dude.
Is it in?
And then fucking they wouldn't let us leave until someone caught a dildo or that someone was shooting out of them. It was a whole thing. And you know who caught it? Kevin Conley. Kevin Conley had shown up he'd been like, he was in Amsterdam like doing a fucking Jesus movie or something, I forget. And he had shown up out of nowhere, and he caught it. He caught this lubed up dildo, and then like not tried to be cool, but like cool move. He like sheathed it like a sword.
Okay.
But he did it into his button-down shirt, and there was just so much lube on it that it was like coming through his shirt. It was like you know, like when you have like a light blue shirt on, you start sweating.
Yeah.
It was just like lube all down his fucking shirt.
And then you're leaving a strip club, looks like it's just a snail trail.
Yeah. That was a fun one.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Is traveling with someone like Bert just a whole different experience?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I haven't. We did Amsterdam, but he was already traveling Europe. So me, Kevin, and Nick met him over there. And then, yes, of course, the hotel we stayed in was unbelievable. And he's got a team who's handling booking dinners and lunches and stuff like that. So it's great, but I haven't had. I don't know if it's the full Bert experience. 'Cause I haven't gone from city to city with him.
Yeah,
which I'll do in the fall. But
oh yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you. But that'll be bust. Like but traveling with Bert is particularly we were there for Chinese New Year because he's a big Chinese New Year guy.
He is.
Yeah, that's why if you remember the pictures and stuff, like we're all in red.
Yep. Yeah, that was a fire outfit.
Yeah. And Bert you know, whoever he happens to be with on Chinese New Year, you have to wear red, you have to gamble, you have to drink, you have to like
Smoke cigarettes?
like he
love smoking cigarettes too, huh?
I do like smoking cigarettes. Yeah.
When you're abroad, though, is that something you try to keep to vacation, or no, you'll have your?
I'll have. I very rarely buy cigarettes, but
Yeah.
but like in Europe I will. So like here
Yeah.
I'll have no problem smoking a cigarette here. It's not like a hard rule. But like in Europe I buy like the little fem darts.
Okay, nice. I think USA is the only country on the earth where when you buy a pack of cigs, it doesn't have a horrific photo on the
Dude,
pack.
I don't want to pull it up right now and find it, but there's one I buy in Italy in particular. I buy these Vogue skinny cigarettes, and
Yeah.
I don't know, they just make me feel cool. So I
Yeah,
like them.
that sounds cool. Yeah.
And they have one on, and there's I buy them in the sleeves, and so let's say it's 11, 12 of them. 11 of them have this horrific image,
Yeah.
and then there's always one with just a baby smoking a cigarette, and you're like, I don't know, that one looks pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like,
That baby's fucking badass.
Yeah,
That baby rips.
the other ones, like some of them, I'm like, how are they related to smoking cigarettes? You'll see amputated feet,
yeah,
just like
baby coffin.
yeah,
There's like a milky eye, hole in the esophagus. There's all kinds of them. And
Yeah.
they don't. Actually, I was gonna say they don't really deter you, but they don't deter me. I think they do a good job of deterring most people, right? As far as
yeah. They might work in the
I pick
U.S.
out the
because then
coolest
when Americans travel abroad, they always seem horrified by them. But
Yeah.
I'm used to it. So,
it's
yeah.
like, when I see that and people are like, oh, I can't smoke this. I'm like, what do you think the ones in America are like? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think we got the healthy ones? Just 'cause it's not
Ours
the
are
picture?
worse.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like theirs have less than Japan. You can smoke all day because there's like nothing in it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's still the fair share of carcinogens. Maybe,
Yeah, but it's not in the same ballpark though.
Yeah.
You think?
If you look at our
Okay.
food, right? Like the food's probably pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like drinking a regular beer and then getting an NA that has like 0.01.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there is a little bit of alcohol in it, but it's not much.
Yeah.
Like a Japanese cigarette, you have to like suck as hard as you possibly can.
I think that's just because they don't have a lot of nicotine, maybe. But like they might be like
They
100%
burn slower.
carcinogens,
everything.
but
yeah.
very little nicotine. That's like the worst of both worlds.
I'm gonna look it up. Are Japanese cigarettes healthy?
When you were in Amsterdam, did you partake in the magic truffles at all?
Yeah, I threw them up all over the casino.
Okay.
No, actually, you know what's funny? I could do Amsterdam a lot because I enjoyed the trip. When we went with Bert, I only knew of Amsterdam as like the party city.
Yeah.
Like everyone who had ever talked about it was like, that's, you know, I'd seen Eurotrip and all that stuff. Like in my head, it was just like, you just go get fucked up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we went with Bert, and that's exactly what we did. But I had no idea like its history or how beautiful it is. Like we took a boat from the hotel to Bert's show one night, and I was like on the water at night. Everything was lit up. I was like, this is the most fucking. I was drunk, obviously, but I was like, this is the most fucking beautiful thing I've ever done in my life. Like, this is insane. It was just gorgeous. And so I got back from that trip, and me, my brother, and my mom were supposed to go to Iceland like a month later. And I was talking about it so much, and my mom was like, you know what, let's just change Iceland. Let's go back. So we did that. So I've had two very different versions of Amsterdam. I've had Party City with Bert, and I've had go see museums with my mom.
You
Now,
bring
when
your brother in there, like, listen, it's gonna feel like something's gonna go in your ass, but we don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah. No. So on that trip, I got fucked in the ass, and on the other one, I went to a couple museums and had a really
I had a
great time.
stroopwafel. It was great.
Did you go to the Anne Frank Museum?
Never made it to the Anne Frank Museum. Actually, Kevin did it while we were there, and he said he was like, I think he didn't get in or something like that. So the next time we went, I was like, you know what, let's just go. We did like that museum kind of alley park. You know what I mean? Like they have like four museums like part of one park. Like the Van Gogh Museum's there.
Ooh, okay.
The Rijksmuseum is right by there, and there are a couple others I forget. So I just did those ones.
Before you arrived, did you know about all the canals?
No, I had no idea.
You had no idea,
That's what I'm
damn,
saying.
yeah.
Like I was on the boat on the canal, being like, I thought this was just like, I don't know, Gomorrah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, I didn't
No.
know that this was fucking gorgeous.
Beautiful place.
The
And-
tulips are
yeah,
unbelievable.
the canals. It's like the Venice of Western Europe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's of Western Europe.
well, I guess Italy is Western Europe too, so I don't know. It's the Venice of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was very impressed by the canals. I was only there for a 24-hour layover.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I tried to get a lot done. I don't know. I went to one of the cafes. That was the main thing I had heard about, just like the weed smoking cafes.
Yeah.
But those were like cool when I was 13. Now that weed's just like legal in the U.S., they aren't like
Doesn't
as
do
cool.
anything for it.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't.
Yeah, you could do it in Michigan. So you know.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool that on the menu they had like 20 different flavors of joints, and so I got a Gouda cheese flavored joint.
Oh,
That seems
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird.
You
So
could have gone mango.
I got to do it. No, I got a Gouda cheese joint. And then the fact that you could buy magic truffles, I thought that was very cool. So I was like, I got to do it. The truffles, most of the time, I love doing, shroom psychedelics. They almost pretty much ruined the entire trip for me. Because,
Really?
I don't know, I got like a crazy anxiety. I took the truffles and I got on one of those tourist hop on, hop off canal cruises. So you're just jam-packed into these small seats. I felt like I was on a plane, and it was mainly senior citizens on it. And there's just a guy on the mic just like rattling off facts. And like the sun was so hot that I just started to panic, and I was like, I got to get off this. And then my flight wasn't for like another 7 hours, but for some reason my mind got caught in a loop. Like, you're going to miss your flight. You're going to miss your flight. And so I was just like slowly having a panic attack that I was going to miss my next flight.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I threw them up immediately. Like when we bought them, they were like basically 2 rules for this. Excuse me. 1, don't take them when you're too drunk. 2, I'm sorry, there are 3 rules. 2, don't take them on an empty stomach. 3, have a piece of chocolate when you eat it. I didn't listen to a single rule. I was beyond hammered. Was like, shut up. Hadn't eaten in fucking probably 2 days, and did not have a chocolate with it. And it was like, it went down, and I wouldn't say immediately, but like within 10 minutes, I was running across the casino, and it was a great feat. I like started puking before I got to the trash, but knew to angle my head enough that like it kind of got to it, and then I followed it in. And there was some that ended up on the floor, but I think pretty largely it got most of it in the trash.
All right.
And then I was like, well,
move.
I was like, that was my Amsterdam. That was my mushrooms in Amsterdam. I don't need to do another one of those right now.
Yeah.
Another beer, please.
Yeah. Were you feeling the shrooms afterwards at all? Because sometimes you puke, and that's when like you really start to trip.
Oh, really? No, I didn't get that. I was so fucked up. I don't really know.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I still recall that vid you posted of you guys on the boat to the show. It is.
Oh yeah,
yeah. No,
that was exactly the moment where
majestic.
I was like, this is insane, guys.
Yeah. No, and then did you have a lot of chance to sample the local cuisine, either your first trip or when you went back with your parents?
Okay, so when we were with Bert, again, we were in party mode. Had a lot of pancakes.
Yeah.
But the cuisine as a whole, probably not.
Yeah.
The second time around, yes, had a good. We went to one dinner. This is actually funny. This is something I find I do a lot when I'm traveling, but I feel like it never happens here. I just stumble into Michelin star restaurants. Like before I started traveling so much, I had a Michelin star in my head as like, you could not get a table. If you could, it was going to cost $3,000.
Yeah.
Like it was prohibitively expensive, prohibitively exclusive, all that stuff. And every time I travel, it's just like, oh, here's a Michelin place that is reasonably priced and is empty. Like, why don't we just fucking eat here? And for like in Amsterdam, in Dublin, in Galway, like all these places I've just been recently, I've been to like, I'm like, wait, this place is a Michelin thing? And in New York, I never stumble into a Michelin place, but
yeah.
There's way more.
there's way more, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the John Dory restaurant we went to in Amsterdam was unbelievable. Like one of the best dinners I've ever had. However, I didn't know going in that it's exclusively seafood. So it was like done like tasting menu style. And so like I think we had 13 courses of different fish. That's too many.
That's a lot of fish.
That's too many.
We did a 10 course, and that's, I think, about 7 is where you top out.
If you're going seafood, like we walked out, my mom just goes, ugh, I feel like I just ate a fish tank. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
You always have to mix in a little turf. You can't go all surf.
Yeah, you can't go all surf.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, the Michelin star doesn't necessarily mean that it's the fanciest place.
No.
Like, there's a taco stand in Mexico that got a Michelin star.
Yeah, I was just down in Tampa like a month ago and was staying next door to a sandwich shop. Like it had a Michelin
Boom, it
star.
can be a
but it
sandwich
was just
shop.
a sandwich shop.
China had a peanut butter noodle spot with a Michelin star.
Really?
Yeah, and like
Peanut butter noodle spot, huh?
yeah, it's kind of like a sesame peanut paste that they like throw on noodles with some chilies.
Fuck yeah.
Great dish. Yeah, great dish. Back to Prague. Did you kind of feel, because my dad went to Prague way back in the day, and that was like when it was still a communist country. And so it was his first time in a communist country, and he thought it was like very cool. They would kind of, some of the like the bars would have this back hidden room where then they would have, you know, US rock albums or something like that you could listen to, but they had to be kind of secretive about it. And he said people would drink beer for breakfast over there, which he was like shocked about.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Was like beer for breakfast a big thing when you were in Prague?
Unfortunately, this is like why I not hated, but I didn't want to go to one because when I traveled when I was younger, like there's so much more interesting stuff to realize when you're older. When you're comparing like geopolitics and how this city or this culture has changed over time. I think it makes it more interesting. But like when I was 15, I was just like hockey, beer, girls.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
when you're 16, you're like, holy shit, I can walk into any bar and just drink. Like that's gonna be.
But that sounds awesome to have like to go back and have like a speakeasy just for American music or some shit. Like that. The beer for breakfast though, I remembered in Amsterdam, they used to drink beer for breakfast. They don't anymore. But they didn't drink beer for breakfast. They drank beer. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. They drank beer all day because when Amsterdam was formed, or when the Netherlands were formed, they didn't have access to potable water.
Exactly.
And,
I was just going to say that.
And
But
so
that's the reason why.
they would brew like very weak beer, but it was still beer, and that's just what everyone drank all day, every day.
That's the reason why even back in the day Vikings did, because it was easier. Like the fermenting process brought out a lot of the impurities that was in there that would make people sick. And so then you had the fermentation process, got rid of all of those impurities for the most part, and that's why they got by on essentially just beer.
Yeah.
So like the Pilsner, it's because it's like 3.3%, 3.2%. So it's basically like drinking water, but there's not the bacteria.
Which is what I assume is how they became known as like party destinations. It's like anywhere that they drank 24/7 because it was the only way to live.
Yeah.
Probably a pretty drinking focused culture.
And we're able to do what they aren't because the buildings are so much newer here. We were able to adjust like water pipes and everything way more than Europe was because it was so established after a long period of time.
Yeah. When I lived in Venice, I would sometimes notice in the morning at the cafes, a lot of the like manual laborers, like with their shot of, like they would get a latte, but they would also always get a shot of grappa as well, which is like their hard alcohol. It's kind of like the hard alcohol version of wine. If you just keep on fermenting wine, it becomes a clear booze. That does not taste great, but I think if you're doing manual labor, just like it's a lot more enjoyable to do with a buzz.
Yeah.
If you're like, I gotta go like
Every
work
construction site in Texas is nothing but Modelo's scattered everywhere.
Yeah. I have like, I'm not gonna judge you for that.
No,
If you're like landscaping all day,
If you have a
gotta
hammer,
have a
you
couple
should have a
beers.
beer. Yeah.
Well, it gets scary too, though. I remember I think it was like the first summer I ever kind of lived away from home and had like a shore house kind of deal. I was a painter. I worked for a company called College Pro Painting, and I showed up to work day one, still drunk. Like it was 7 a.m. I think. Like I was absolutely still fucking drunk, and they told me to go paint the third story, and it was like a widow's peak, not a widow's peak. Is that a widow's peak?
A widow's peak is the
hair.
platform that you can but they also have
That's a widow's walk.
Widow's walk is
Yeah.
like the platform that they would have on top of houses in New England, so the widows could like look for their husband to come home from sea, but they called it a widow's walk because their husband had probably already died at sea.
Classic.
But they told me to get up there on like the third level, and I was up there, still drunk, on the third story on a weak ladder, and I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Like, I should not be up here. And I just came down, came down, and I was like, hey man, I'm gonna go home. Like, I was like, and I mean for good. Like, this is not the job for me. I'm looking to have a good time this summer, not fucking.
My nipples have grown in all the way. I'm ready to go.
Ended up getting a job at a sunglass shop. I was like, it's a little more my speed. Fuck, but I forgot. Did you have a question? No, we were just talking about.
Yeah, no, we were just shooting the shit.
So where's next for you? Where would you like to go?
I'm going to Wimbledon in like a month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I've only been to
You're
London.
gonna get a fit off. You're
Yeah,
about
I know,
to get
I'm nervous
some
about
fits
that.
off.
I've only been to London for 24 hours, or for a night, which is another stupid travel story. But my friend and I, he called me on a Wednesday and was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" And I said, "Nothing. What are you doing?" And he's like, "I got tickets to Liverpool, Man City. You want to go?"
This was a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, or something.
And I was like, "Fuck yeah! Like I love Liverpool. Like Man City's Man City. Like yeah, let's go." And he's like, "All right, beautiful." He lives in San Francisco, and he's like, "All right, I'll fly to New York. I'll meet you in New York on Thursday. We'll fly Thursday night." And I was like, "Beautiful." I was like, "Let's go to London Friday night. We'll go to Liverpool Saturday. It could be a great weekend." In my head, I was like, "How big could England be?" Woke up, partied all night in London. Woke up the next morning, luckily because of time change. Woke up at like 4 a.m. And I was like, "All right, I guess I'll check how far this ride is." And it was 4.5 hours away. I thought Liverpool was just like right next door to London, and so then we had to take.
You were thinking you could call a cab?
Yeah, I was like, this will be an easy Uber. Like, no big deal.
No.
I'm not. So I guess that's what I'm bad at with traveling. I'm not going to be Googling stuff beforehand. I'm just going to go and let's figure out what happens while we're there.
I kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
While we're there, I'm easy peasy. It's probably my fuck up anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to get too mad about anything. But I do not like doing a ton of research. I like just going and just seeing where things go.
Okay. So you guys had to hop on a train, I assume?
We did a train, but because it was so late, all the high speed trains were sold out. So we had to basically take, like, legitimately the Metro North. Like, it was like people you didn't get a guaranteed seat.
Yep.
It was people standing, and we took that for 2 hours north to Birmingham, and then we were supposed to change trains to another one that we would take 2 hours north. And I was so hungover that I was like, dude, I physically cannot do that again. Like it was literally like, you see the pictures of like Tokyo of everyone like pushing onto a train. Like you were standing up, people were in your space, and it was 2 hours of that. And I was like, I cannot do that again. I'll just not go to the game. I can't do that again. And so we just took a cab. We found a cabbie who did drive us. It was expensive, but not crazy. But he 2 hours rather than 4 was more palatable to the cabbie.
Yeah.
And then did you have some time to like check out Liverpool? That's a city I've always wanted to go to.
Not so much. So same thing. It was one night in London, one night in Liverpool. The little I did see, I did really like. And the same thing with London. Like I'm so excited to go back to London because I was fucked up that night. And going to the cab the next morning to the train station, I remember looking around and being like, holy shit, this place is beautiful.
Yes,
I have no memories of it yesterday, but like right now, this place is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to get back. But Liverpool I liked a lot. And same type deal though, like quick one night. I did very much get Boston vibes from Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a very like working class city.
Yeah.
People are a little more down to earth, where it's kind of like comparing New York and Boston. Like in New York, there's a lot more like metrosexual vibe, like, very wealthy. In the UK, they use the term Ponzi. Have you ever?
Yes. Yeah.
You Ponzi cunt. Yeah. So like when you talk to people from Liverpool, you're like, yo, I'm going to go to London. Like, oh, those Ponzi cunts.
Yeah,
Like, don't
exactly.
go to London.
Like if someone from Boston is in
Yeah,
New
the
York.
aggressive accent, like
Yeah.
the Scousers.
What was I just gonna say?
But yeah, Scousers are the funniest people I think I've met. They have the best sense of humor of any culture I've
Patty
encountered.
the Batty.
Yeah, Patty the Batty, my friend Steed, who I used to live with out in China.
Yeah, in Liverpool,
They have that the Falcon.
yeah.
The Falcon.
Yes. Yeah.
the going to Anfield was a very cool experience. It's what I imagine going to Lambeau is like, where
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like it's a stadium, but it's just in a neighborhood. Like
Oh,
it's not.
okay.
It's just like someone lives across the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's literally across the street, but like you're walking by houses as you're walking to
Yeah.
the stadium, and the thing that I loved the most, one of my favorite memories from that trip is afterwards, after the game, we went to, like, we walked to it, so it wasn't far away, but it wasn't like the pub outside the stadium. Like let's say it was a half mile away or a quarter mile away, but it was close. And I'm sure it's just, this is how all pubs are in England, and this is just pub culture and stuff like that. But this was the only one I was at, so it's what I remember. But like, I think back to this pub whenever I'm in a bad mood. Like it was just so nice. Like it was just so warm, and like they had rugs which I thought were cool, and it was just like it was very much a pub experience in that it was a public house. Like families were there with their kids. Like everyone was hanging out. The bartenders were chasing the kids. But then at 8 p.m., all kids have to leave. And so like the bartender's like, gotta get the kids out. And I thought it was just like, I don't know, it just felt like a community.
If I was the business owner, that would be my Yelp review. I would have that pinned to the top of my page. Like to have a place where you're like, when I'm in a bad mood, I think of this place. I don't know if you could have a bigger ringing endorsement of a place than that.
And yeah, the way you explain it, I can picture this place in my mind.
Yeah.
It's just making me happy simply thinking about it.
And the bartender is probably like 63 years old.
Yeah.
He's gray and he's balding a little bit on the top, but it has a little bit of a comb over.
It was exactly that. And then a young woman who I just, in my head, that was his daughter.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, fucking Pops. What are you doing over there?
Scousers have a reputation for being pretty big drug guys too.
Scousers?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that explains something. So right before the match, we got there pretty late, and I was hungover, and we got a hot dog or something like that. And I threw it up immediately because I got a hot dog thinking this is the closest to what like I'm used to eating, and it tasted nothing like a hot dog. Like everything in England is so American, but just a little off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like remember when you were a kid and you go to your friend's house and you'd be like, it just doesn't smell like my house.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a little different, and that's how I feel like England and America are. Where it's just a little bit off.
Yeah.
But we were at this pub grabbing a beer before the match, and I went to take a piss, and just standing at the door after I take a piss is just someone just handing out bumps to everyone who walked out. like we were child soldiers. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was literally, I took that bump, walked out, and walked into the stadium, and I went from bump in the bathroom to in my seat at Anfield in maybe 15 minutes. And I think that is the best argument for gun control ever. I was like, dude, we didn't go through metal detectors. We just walked in. It was people might have different stories about their experiences at British games. It was the biggest breeze I've ever experienced in my life.
I got to go to a soccer game, not a Liverpool game. Well, when Liverpool played AC Milan in Milan, that's when I was living in Italy. So I hit up Patty the Batty. I was like, are you going to this? He's like, yeah, me and 10 mates are flying in for it. So I met them at a bar outside the stadium beforehand, and immediately a few of his friends are offering me bumps. And I was like, didn't you just hop off a plane from Liverpool? They're like, yeah, we just shoved it in between our butt cheeks. And then
I'll do it.
Yeah. And when we're just like in our
butt cheeks, mate.
Put it right in between the cheeks. And like during the game,
place, isn't it?
they brought it into the stadium. They're just like doing bumps at their seat. I can't remember if I saw this live or if I saw this in an Instagram video. So I'm pretty sure I saw it both. But there's a bald guy sitting in front of them, and they put a little bit of a line on the bald guy's head, did a line off his head before he even knew what was going on.
Legend.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm almost positive I saw it with my own eyes. If not, I've seen it on Instagram.
I think my Coke days are pretty much in the rear view, but if I ever do it again, it's got to be off a bald guy's head.
Oh, without
I mean, like, come on.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Chaps, want to come over here for a second?
Yeah. You got a stiletto I can use?
Chop it up with that.
All right, John, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I love the show. I love the concept. Thank you very much for having me on.
We'll see you again for sure.
Today's episode of Drop a Pin is brought to you by our friends at Blue Chew. Guys, we enter the room with them cocks out first, my friends. Big Chew isn't just about the label, it's a cheat code for that crotch of yours. We got stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership, talking John Gruden dick, folks. Blue Chew is the original brand, offering chewable tablets for better sex. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy, or better yet, the third legacy. Give her group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay down, they're talking about how it goes up. This ain't a supplement. It's an erection resurrection. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners, right, Donnie?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Use promo code DROP at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. That's all you got to do, and you'll get your first order free.
Nice.
Your first actually month free.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Depending on, that might be 30 days, depending on how much you fuck.
It will be, yeah.
It could be a year, it could be whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how much our listeners fuck. I mean, I had Nicky
Some, I
Smokes
imagine.
asking me about this deal. He was like, hey, I heard Drop of Pins got the hookup when it comes to Blue Chew. I told him promo code DROP for a free month, and he was like, I'm going to need those at the beach house.
Hell yeah.
Because everyone's going to be talking on that show. If you lay some like subpar dick, that's immediately posted all over social media.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think
You don't want one that's just flopping around like some al dente noodles.
Nope.
You want that full-on, completely hard shell taco. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Today's pod is also brought to you by Fair Harbor. I know it's crazy to say, but if you've ever worn an uncomfortable men's bathing suit before with that awful lining, you can understand what I mean when I say our next sponsor, Fair Harbor, and the Breeze Knit Line bathing suits legitimately changed my life. They are makers of the world's most comfortable swimwear. So if you're heading to the beach or have a vacation coming up, pack the Breeze Knit Line trunks and say goodbye to mesh lining forever. During the summer, a lot of times I like to just leave the house wearing a bathing suit and I'll have it on the rest of the day. And if you've got that like very uncomfortable mesh lining, you will be in a world of hurt come 5 p.m. Your ass is going to be itching. It's going to be rashy. But with these, I throw them on. I'm comfortable the whole day. I'll go hippo mode. I'll get out. They dry quickly. And then they're just comfortable to rock wherever. So yeah, go with Fair Harbor's swimwear this summer. They got the soft built-in liner, keeps you comfortable all day, and you'll never go back to mesh line trunks again. Head to fairharborclothing.com/wonton and use code WONTON for 20% off your first purchase. Once again, that's Fair Harbor, HARBOR, clothing.com/wonton for 20% off your first purchase. And make sure you use my promo code WONTON so they know I sent you. Cop some great swim trunks, help out the pod. We appreciate it.
Fair Harbor.
Fair Harbor. Don't the Brits spell harbor differently than Americans?
Yeah, with a U-R.
Okay, yeah. Well, we spell it the American way.
That's right. Today's episode is also brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. It's football season soon. Well, I guess it is. It's officially back. We got some preseason games going on. The first college games are coming up. Cheesesteaks are perfect for football. It's perfect for your game day meal or late night eats. Pardon My Cheesesteak offers a wide variety of cheesesteaks, loaded fries, or popular desserts, all delivered to your door. Now that preseason football is underway, Pardon My Cheesesteak added a brand new combo on its menu. Introducing the Big One, an original classic cheesecake with your choice of brownie bites or donut dippers. Those donut dippers, by the way, delicious. The little cream cheese that goes in it, like cream cheese icing that you put in there.
Yep.
Fire.
It's like what they put on top of cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, exactly. And a drink, and all for a discounted price. And it's Big Cat approved. Big Cat likes to eat, and he likes this stuff too, so you will as well. Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com to order with the code PMC20 for 20% off. Again, that's PMC20 for those keeping score with the phonetic alphabet. That's Papa Mike Charlie 20. Let's get back to the pod.
That makes sense. Let's do it.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Having you back on. You're going to be on our pod twice in the same episode.
Oh, that's very exciting. Has that happened before?
No.
Virgin
First.
Voyage right here.
But it's going to be like talking to two different people, different look, new location. We're talking about something completely different.
Yeah, I'm going to be speaking Spanish the whole time, too, so it'll be very different.
Okay. Please do. Are you fluent?
What's that?
Are you fluent in Spanish?
Fuck no.
Okay.
God, no. I used to know how to speak it pretty well. Now I can get by.
Okay, today on Gettin Cultured, we have a very special guest, Feitelberg, again. Because
Thrilled to be back, boys.
I realized during the last pod appearance, we never brought up your show that is coming out very soon. It may have already come out by the time this pod drops. It's called Les Mascots, and
Les
it's like a
Mascots.
full-on TV show. Barstool's first.
It is Barstool's first. It is our first, obviously. We're very excited. We think We worked hard. We think it's funny. We think it's good. I've seen episodes 1 and 2. I have not seen everything else, but I can speak to 1 and 2. They're good. After that,
Trash.
hopefully we keep it up.
After
But
that
1 and 2 are
fucking
good.
garbage.
Yeah, good. The wheels could fall all the way off afterwards, but the first 2 were good.
Let's go. Yeah, no, I mean, I've worked with your guy Pavs before. He's great.
Dude.
We did the 48-hour film fest, and he put together a masterpiece in such a short time.
It's crazy. It's funny we're doing this today because I was just talking to Colin Terrell, who's a comedian you guys both probably know.
Yep.
And we were just talking about how we've learned more about movies recently and how we enjoy them so much more. And like anything I've learned is just from Owen and Pavs. Like I'm just lucky to get to be around them and get to talk to them every day. And it's made everything so much more enjoyable, like watching movies and stuff like that. But Pavs, the way Owen understands like structure of story and the way Pavs understands how to fucking make it is incredible. Like they're both so fucking smart and will not be here for long. So enjoy them while they're here because they're going to fucking get offers from other places really soon.
Okay. That's high praise right there.
That is.
I get it's not high enough. However,
Do you want to go make movies, or would you rather do skits your whole life? Like, which one do you want to do? Like movies? Like Pav's definitely going to be doing movies. That's just, like he got like an hour and a half to make the Barstool Film Fest, and it looked like a legit movie.
Bro, I obviously, I see Pavs' work, so I know how talented he is. But the amount of other tech people and production people who over the last few days have come into the studio and been like, Pavs, I don't understand how you did that is crazy. Like I genuinely don't know what he does either. I know he fucking is impressive, but whenever people are always complimenting either the sketches or the show, I'm always thinking, I've always been like, I don't know. I think we just use the same cameras everyone else does. And whatever Pavs does in post and how he can figure out lighting and shit like that. He's just incredible. He's amazing to watch. Both him and Owen work is.
Now, was it hard to convince Portnoy to give you the green light? Just because I assume something like this costs more than the normal out of order sketches you guys had been doing.
I don't know. I don't know if Dave knows this is happening. He and I, obviously we very rarely talk, but okay, we talk a time or two a year, and I've mentioned to him that we certainly had these goals to do a show or do a movie. And I think we still have, we hope to do it one day, but I don't think I honestly don't think he really knows about this. I think we got very minimal budget. And I don't think that was him saying, give them small budget or anything like that. It's like, I think we went to Jake Bass and we were like, hey, this is what we want to do. And then they gave us I don't know how the budget came about. Okay. I do know we're under budget, so we're good, but I don't think it was crazy expensive. I know we spent a couple grand, but I don't think it was like, I don't think this even came across Dave's desk. I don't think he knows.
That's the great thing about working at a company like this, because normally if you want to make a show, you've got to hire a bunch of actors. A lot of them are probably in the union, so you need to pay them a certain amount. You need to provide certain things. But we're like most of the people in the show, I know not all of them, but a lot of them are already working for Barstool. They're already under contract, so there's no like extra, loops that you got to pass through.
Yeah, I think we ran into a little bit of that, like SAG stuff when we were trying to get a couple other actors or stuff like that to come on because they have to jump through a million hoops to work on a set that isn't union approved. Yep. So like a couple of them were like, it's honestly like, we'd love to do it. It's just a hassle. And I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. But yeah, we own all the cameras. Obviously Barstool owns all the cameras. Barstool pays all our salaries. So, and most of the show is just shot on the street in New York. So I don't think the budget was crazy. We got gigsters here and there. We've had to fly to a few locations. But I don't think Dave's going to be mad at us. I don't know.
No.
He could be.
I mean, I can't guarantee you he's going to watch the show, but I don't think he's going to be mad at you guys.
Oh, that was whenever we talked about it. And again, it would be very, very passing, very fleeting conversations. But whenever we talk about it, I would always make it very clear to him, you're going to hate this. This is not going to be something that's up Dave Portnoy's alley.
Yeah.
But I hope he likes the go get an attitude or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we've all said like it's kind of cool that we just decided to make it and we just made it.
For sure. Now,
He'd be mad if it sucked. Like if the
Yo, how about
response was
this?
it sucks, but the response is like it looks great, like everything's doing, so it'll be like fine. But if it sucked, then you would hear it from him.
Dude, well, it still might suck. Like I want to be very clear about that. It might suck. And I've had nightmares about that where because the way we're rolling it out is, I guess, a little different. Like we're going as weekly, which shows don't really do anymore. We had a couple other ideas of how we're going to be marketing it, promoting it on the road and stuff like that. And if it sucks, if everyone fucking hates it, and then for the next 7 weeks, we just have to keep being like, new episode of this show that fucking no one likes. That's going to be hell. That's not
So
going to
we'll
be
know that you guys didn't think it went well if there's like a mass dump of the last 4 episodes. At one time.
Yeah. You know what? We're putting 5 out at one time.
This is one tweet for all 5 episodes of promotion, and then I'm walking away.
No one mentioned this ever again.
now to tie this segment back to our pod, what did you learn about the culture of Times Square and just the lifestyle of these Times Square mascots while filming the show?
Dude, that's a great question. We were really nervous about it because we didn't really understand the culture and the community and stuff like that. And we're not making fun of the people who are out there doing it. We're making fun of these 2 very specific people. But we were nervous about like how things were going to go. And we were immediately accepted by the Times Square community. The cops love us. The security guards loved us. The Times Square Elmos and Cookie Monsters loved us. They would always be yelling at us because we were often walking around like in between sets or shoots, like carrying our helmets and stuff like that. And they would always yell at us. They'd point and they go, "La cabeza, put it on." And parents would get really mad at us too. Like Tommy and I got outright undressed, yelled at by a mom in the street one day because we were walking with our helmets off, and she was just like, real nice guys. We were like, what? She's like, I got 2 kids with me, and now I got
Breaking the third wall of Elmo's not actually real.
We were like, what the fuck? How is this on us? This can't possibly be.
What type of people were the real life mascots in Times Square? I think it's unfair of me, but I've always assumed like possibly addicts, people that have like gone down the wrong path in life. Yeah. But it seems like they might just be normal people who found a fun way to make a quick buck. I don't know.
I think that's a fair assessment. That's certainly what our characters are. We're not like addicts or anything like that. We're just people trying to have a good time. And yeah, I would say I didn't notice any, like, I wouldn't use the word like derelict or addict or anything like that for most of the people. Most of the people are immigrants, I think, just trying to make a job. Like I said, they always yelled at us in Spanish, so I would assume most of them are immigrants. But they were really, really nice people. All of them were like I can't stress the characters themselves were very nice, but the cops, the security guards, like everyone was very happy to see us there. And everyone, and honestly, we took more pictures. We basically were just Times Square Elmo and Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
We would be taking pictures nonstop. Because we also have, out of all the Elmos, there's a lot of them. There's not just one, it's not like a job that's filled. It's just people put on a suit and go out there. So there's a lot of Times Square Elmos and Cookie Monsters. Wait, fuck, I'm sorry. I forgot what I was saying that.
Oh, so there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah. So we were taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. But we have, for sure, the most official costumes out of anybody. So everyone was coming to our pictures. like we have, actually, I think they're from China, but they're very official mascot costumes. And
well, that checks out that they're from China.
Yeah. But then I can see them, like the other Elmos and Cookie Monsters, being upset if you show up and then all of a sudden everybody's lining up to get a photo with you guys and they're losing out on some business.
I thought that might happen. I certainly thought it was a possibility. I think there are so many people that they never really noticed. Like, it's not like there's like a line or a booth or something like that. I think just Times Square is full of so many people who want pictures that they didn't really start to blame us if their business was going down.
I would say Times Square is probably one of the most hated.
Sitting here.
What's up?
I was going to say I meant to start the show with this, but I'm sitting here with a gift for the Wonton Don from Ari Shaffir, and he said to bring it to Chicago, and he actually told it to Pavs, who was here, and Pavs said, Ari, I am not flying on a plane with this, but we will get it to Donnie whenever we can.
What is it, a brick watch?
He says it's a trophy.
Oh.
It's a trophy. I think his podcast does awards similar to how Part of My Take does the Takeys. And he mentioned that I won an award. I don't know what the award was. Do you mind just opening up?
It was Best Drugstore.
Oh, yeah, it was?
That's what he said, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Best drugstore of the year because of your fake meth.
I'll take a look at it. We can do a big reveal.
There's a chance. The part of the reason I think Pav said he's not bringing on a plane is because the other thing he gave was drugs. Okay. He was just like, well, I'm not flying on a plane with this unopened box, but we'll open it. We'll figure it out here. Yeah, it's definitely not drugs. It is your award. Very nicely packaged.
Beautiful. Now, on the award, does it say best drug story? Because that would still be an awkward thing to bring on a plane.
It says the 2024 Trippy Award, Wonton Don, Best Drugs, Yaba in Laos.
There you go.
Wow. What an honor.
Now that I'm holding it, this is a nice trophy you got.
Dude, it's way nicer than the trophies we hand out at our award show.
This is a heavy crystal trophy I'm holding in my hand.
Yeah, it's like an Abraham Lincoln. Anything is a dildo if you're brave enough type of trophy.
Both time Barstool has done award shows. Our awards have been made out of plastic.
Well, not the dozen award. I think that one cost like $20,000.
Oh yes.
I remember Jeff Tilo got in trouble for that. And he was like, I didn't do it.
Well, dude, I'm very excited to watch the show. Yeah, my last question was, Times Square is probably the most hated on part of New York. After filming the show, do you have a newfound appreciation for that area?
You know what's funny? I don't, look, I'm not pretending like Times Square is unbelievable and you got to go or anything like that. But as someone who lives in New York, I go fairly often. Not I don't go myself, but like I go to plays and shit like that. So I go around it. It's an undeniably cool place. Like, yes, there are too many people, and yes, it's a little trashy sometimes, but there's so much going on there, and there's such a community and just like environment happening there behind the scenes or like a little bit underground that I always really like Times Square. I think it's just one of those places you kind of stand in and you look around and you're like, holy shit. Like, yeah, we grew up seeing it so often that I'm like, wow, this is it. I'm here. This is the place for movies. This is the place for TV. So I always liked it, but yeah, now it certainly has a little bit of a special place in my heart, I think.
Yeah, like on New Year's Eve, I think it looks like hell on earth, but it's fun just to do like a quick walkthrough if you're in New York. I mean, I wouldn't really go out to eat there just because like it's not known to have the best restaurants.
No, you don't want to make it a whole day event or something like that. But there is like
a lot of fun.
An energy in Times Square that when you're there, it's hard not to feel.
And I could tell that you like Times Square because when I stayed at the Margaritaville Times Square, I told everybody, I was like, you guys got to come through and party. And you were one of the only coworkers that came.
Oh,
well, we also went to Olive Garden with Nate for his birthday a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
The Olive Garden, obviously, both of those are referenced in the show. But Margaritaville certainly referenced, Olive Garden referenced. Because there's so much in Times Square that the whole world knows about. So it's actually like we can kind of make a show that feels a little bit local because everyone knows about it.
Yeah,
and it was fun. I don't know. I think I'm losing the thread a little bit here, but I just had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
It is, especially like working at Barstool. We do a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of like vlogs. It's like you don't have a lot of opportunities to just like act and pretend to be something you're not, and like. We both got a taste of it during the 48-hour film fest, and I think afterwards we were both like, "Damn, I would love to do that again."
Yeah,
that was
dude. It's so much fun, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes, it is.
It's like I think I've said it before, where it's like if you're just hanging out with your boys and someone's like, "Yo, you want to play cops and robbers?"
Yeah,
and you're like, "Yeah." And he's like, I'm gonna really, really pretend though. And you're like, all right, I'll really pretend.
yeah.
But you gotta take it fucking serious.
I don't know, really, really fun.
Yep. Yeah, that's what me and my friends.
Like, I'm gonna actually be a robber.
Yes.
I'm gonna legit rob you right now.
Yeah, in like 6th and 7th grade, me and my friends would go out and make these movies with my dad's camcorder, and we still have the footage of a lot of them. But we were having a blast, and then once you kind of like you're in like 8th grade, you're like, people are gonna think we're losers for just like making these movies, and then we stopped. But it's like, why did we stop? Like
so much fun stuff you stop because people think that you're a loser when you do it, like a water gun fight.
Like the only like I loved my high school experience. I had a blast. All that good stuff. If I could go back, and I've always thought this before we ever did this, I would have done a theater one of the like. I played football, hockey, and baseball, so I like never had time. But I would have not played football, and I would have done theater that season because like it just, I don't know. I wasn't a great football player. I didn't have much fun. I really regret not doing that.
I respect that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, Fights, thanks for coming on, man. And I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, boys. Really appreciate you having me on. Love the show, and look forward to see you soon.
See you, buddy.
Yo.
You remember Dustin?
My nephew? Yeah.
Dustin? Who's Dustin?
I guess he wants to make like a documentary film about us.
Yo! We are off-Broadway actors.
I'm sorry, but you fucking suck at this job.
Not the Mascots.
The Mascots again?
Yes, it's the fucking Mascots again. There's no small parks, only small actors.
Man, I came here to, hopefully save my grades by getting like some celebrity cameos. But it's like, at this point, it's like, I don't even know if I can use any of this, man.
I brought you here under false pretenses. That's on me. But there is a story here. There's a story with the two of us. You can see that.
Jesus Christ, man.
We did it. Let's put on a fucking show.
It was right then and there that I knew. We struck gold, I think.